Talk to Me 2023 is more than just a horror film. It's a visceral exploration of human grief, guilt, and the consequences of tampering with forces beyond comprehension. Directed by Danny and Michael Filippo, it introduces a unique spin on the supernatural horror genre, focusing on a group of thrill-seeking teenagers who inadvertently unleash dark forces that prey on their vulnerabilities. The movie begins by establishing a group of teenagers who gather at parties to perform a seemingly harmless ritual, using a mysterious embalmed hand. This hand, a porcelain relic covered in faint inscriptions, becomes the centerpiece of their reckless game. With just a touch, the person holding the hand can momentarily open a gateway to the world of spirits, allowing the dead to take control of their bodies. The thrill of experiencing possession, the sense of otherworldly euphoria, and the rush of adrenaline quickly become addictive to the group. This serves as a potent metaphor for the modern obsession with seeking increasingly extreme forms of entertainment and validation. The main character, Mia, is introduced as a teenager still mourning the recent death of her mother, Ria. Isolated and struggling to cope, Mia gravitates toward these sessions with the hand as a way to escape her emotional turmoil. She sees the hand not just as a party trick, but as a potential bridge to reconnect with her mother, to fill the void left by her loss. This desire blinds her to the dangers of tampering with the dead, making her the perfect target for the spirits waiting on the other side. The opening scenes set up Mia's fragile emotional state, showing her strained relationship with her father, Max, who is unable to reach out to her in her time of need. Max himself is broken by grief, and the tension between them is palpable. Mia's decision to hang out with her friends Jade and Daniel instead of her family is a symptom of her desperation to feel something, anything, other than the emptiness that surrounds her. These early scenes highlight Mia's isolation, making it clear why she would be drawn to something as dangerous as the embalmed hand. As the film progresses, it becomes clear that each session with the hand is eroding the boundary between life and death, sanity and madness. Mia's motivations become more desperate as she uses the hand repeatedly, longing for a genuine connection with her mother. During one session, a spirit claiming to be her mother speaks to her, urging Mia to keep the portal open longer. The ritual's rule, to never exceed 90 seconds, is broken, leading to horrific consequences when Riley, Jade's younger brother, becomes possessed by a vengeful entity. What happens next is a scene that sets the tone for the rest of the movie. Riley, under the influence of the spirit, mutilates himself in front of his friends. His eyes roll back and his voice distorts as he smashes his face into a table, breaking his teeth and tearing his skin. It's a brutal, unflinching portrayal of supernatural horror, made even more terrifying by the helplessness of the friends who can only watch in terror as the entity refuses to relinquish its hold on him. Riley's body is no longer his own. It's a plaything for the malevolent spirit that now controls him. The aftermath is even more harrowing as Riley lies in a coma, his body bruised and broken, while the entity seems to linger, waiting for another opportunity to strike. Mia is devastated, blaming herself for what happened to Riley. Guilt-ridden, she becomes obsessed with finding a way to free him. She believes that her mother, who appears to her in visions, is guiding her. But the truth is far more sinister. The film masterfully blurs the lines between reality and illusion, making it difficult for both Mia and the audience to distinguish between what is real and what is a manipulation by the spirits. Each time Mia sees her mother, there are subtle distortions in her appearance. A flickering smile that is a fraction too wide, eyes that seem empty, a voice that echoes with an unnatural resonance. As Mia spirals deeper into madness, she begins to alienate those around her. Jade, once her closest friend, grows suspicious of Mia's increasingly erratic behavior. Their friendship, already strained by the events surrounding Riley's possession, crumbles further when Mia starts accusing Jade and her family of hiding the truth about her mother's death. The tension between Mia and Jade is palpable, adding a layer of psychological complexity to the horror. The movie's visuals play a significant role in conveying Mia's deteriorating mental state. Mirrors, a recurring motif throughout the film, are used to distort reflections and create a sense of unease. In one chilling scene, Mia looks into a mirror and sees her mother's face staring back at her, smiling eerily. This moment symbolizes Mia's growing inability to separate her identity from the spirits that haunt her. The mirror cracks, and her own face shatters into a web of broken glass, representing her fragmented psyche. Mia's obsession reaches its peak when she decides to use the hand one last time to contact Riley in the hospital, despite the warnings from the others. What she sees is a vision of Riley trapped in a grotesque version of the hospital, his body twisted and contorted, surrounded by laughing spirits. They pull at his limbs, tear at his flesh, and whisper taunts into his ears. It's a visual representation of the torment he endures every moment he is under their influence. Mia realizes that Riley's suffering is far worse than she imagined, and that it's her fault. In a desperate attempt to end his pain, Mia considers the unthinkable, killing Riley to release him from the spirit's grasp. The movie crescendos in a tense sequence where Mia kidnaps Riley from the hospital. As she wheels him through the darkened corridors, the lights flicker and ghostly figures dart in and out of the shadows. The spirits, sensing Mia's resolve, try to sway her decision, appearing as twisted versions of her mother and Riley. They beg her to let Riley die, promising that it will end his suffering. It's a heart-wrenching moment as Mia stands at the precipice, torn between the horror of what she's about to do and the desperate belief that it's the only way to save him. But in the film's final twist, Mia makes a different choice. Rather than killing Riley, she throws herself into oncoming traffic, sacrificing her own life. The aftermath is a haunting epilogue. Mia, now a disembodied spirit, watches as life continues without her. She sees Jade and Riley reunited, her father grieving, and herself, a ghostly figure, forever trapped in the liminal space between life and death. The last image of Mia reaching out to a new group of teenagers as they summon her through the embalmed hand is both tragic and terrifying. She has become the very thing she feared, an entity bound to the hand, condemned to repeat the cycle of pain and loss. The final moments of Talk to Me leave the audience with a lingering sense of dread. The hand, now passed on to a new group of thrill seekers, ensures that the cycle will continue. The movie ends with the chilling realization that Mia's story is just one of many, and that there will be countless more victims drawn to the promise of speaking to the dead. In essence, Talk to Me is a haunting exploration of grief, guilt, and the dangers of unresolved trauma. Its blend of psychological and supernatural horror, combined with its strong character development and innovative use of visual storytelling, makes it a standout in the genre. It's a film that doesn't just aim to scare, but to unsettle deeply, leaving audiences questioning the boundaries between the living and the dead, and the monsters that reside within us. Thank you for joining us for this in-depth look at Talk to Me. If you enjoyed the recap and want to see more detailed breakdowns of the latest films, be sure to hit the like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss an upload. Here on Minute Recaps, we dive into movies scene by scene, exploring themes, characters, and plot twists. Drop a comment below to share your thoughts or suggest the next movie you'd like us to cover. Your support helps us bring you the best recaps, so don't forget to share this video. See you in the next one.